All right, guys, welcome back to my channel. What I'm going to be doing today is rerouting some gray water. Now, this is water that comes out of our building. We have our commercial sink that's over here. That the pipe is right there. On this pipe that you can see coming out of the building, that's for our shower and sink. And on the other side of that air conditioner, there's a pipe coming out of the wall there also, where the water from the washing machine comes out there. Now, I need to trench and put some pipe out and reroute the water to a low-lying area back here where it's just naturally low-lying there. And in the winter, it kind of puddles up there all the time. But in the summer, it's bone dry. But I need to do this quickly because during the summer, I couldn't do it because the ground was like concrete here because we have a very, like a clay-type soil, high in iron. So I couldn't even put a shovel in the ground. I was waiting for a couple of rains to come down and soften the ground up. Well, we've had a ton of rain, plus the water that from the showers and the sink and the washing machine. It's made a mess back here. The real problem is the water comes from the sink, the commercial sink. We wash a lot of our like fruits and vegetables there, which is not a problem. The problem is when we open up the chicken packages and meat and stuff like that, the juice from all that gets stuck over there by the building, and that gets pretty stinky. Let me tell you. So I got to get this water rerouted and away from the building, and the water doesn't really drain here. It kind of puddles up next to the building, so that's not good. This low-lying area, it steeps down a little bit, and the ground's got time to absorb it, and we won't have that problem anymore. So I got to get this done. I don't want to put any type of drainage field or septic type drain field out here because I personally don't think we need it. The ground here is able to absorb this water if you give it enough area, and that's the problem here. The water is just sitting here. It needs to move away. And when you give it a large area, the ground can absorb it. You got more surface area, basically, to absorb all that water. The water from the washing machine here, when it gets over here, it kind of spreads out a little bit, and then the ground just soaks it right in. So I'm glad I had this area here where I can send the water out that way. Because if this area was really flat, then yeah, I think I would probably have to put some kind of drainage field out here. But I don't think I'll need to. In the event, in the future, if I see that I have to put one in, I can put one in later. So, main thing right now, get the water away from the building into this low-lying area. It is so incredibly muddy here. For the first couple inches, it's all mud. But after that, it gets into that clay over here, and it's not dry, but it's not soaking this water that's sitting on top here. It's a muddy mess, and I think I got to put my mud boots on now because this is getting ridiculous. Yep, I think it's about time for my mud boots. Oh, if you guys can just smell the aroma right now. Nasty. Now I do have a trencher, but the problem with that is it's going to get stuck with this mud here. Wouldn't have a chance. In fact, one time I came here with my zero turn to cut the grass, and I got stuck here. Because those things, just as soon as they see mud, they're done. They are done. You get stuck. But anyways, the tires on the trencher are the same type of tires. And they get stuck. So I'll just do this by hand. So guys, as you can see here, I got all the trenching done. And I'm pretty happy with the trenching. And then the part where the washer and dryer is, that's a straight line to this area right here. That's the low-lying area where I want the water to go. Now, I was going to get my tractor and I was going to scoop some of this area out, make it deeper basically, so my pipe will hang and not be level with the ground. I want the pipe to hang and the water to drop onto the ground or whatever. So, as usual, you know, you're doing one project and then end up doing another project. So I went to go start my tractor and the battery's dead. So the battery's dead. I cleaned the terminals, they were all corroded, the positive was all corroded. Cleaned it up. I tried jumping it with my truck. I had some really good cables. But I didn't think it would because there's not enough cranking amps in a truck or a car battery for that matter. But this thing is 925 cranking amp because you're turning over a diesel. Diesels are high compression and you need a lot of torque in cranking amp for that. So anyways, I took half of this front end off just so I can get the battery out. So I'm going to try and get the battery out of here. There. X-side. 925 cranking amp. So I'm going to go out and see if I can pick another one up. This thing is 6-7 years old. I figure rather than trying to recharge it and all that stuff, I'm just going to get me a new battery and not have to worry about it for many more years to come. Alright, so let's get a battery. Okay guys, next day, new battery. Last night it was late, so everything was pretty much closed. Let me get this installed and I'll get back to working in the mud. Alright, so what I've done with the tractor is I scooped this area out. I would say maybe 12, 18 inches, or maybe foot and a half deep. And now my pipe will come right over here, right off this edge here, and dump into this small pond. This area here is always bone dry in the summertime, and in the winter we get more rain, and it's either really muddy like it is now, or there's a small amount of water here. So I'm not too concerned. This is perfect for what I need here to get all this gray water away from the building into this low-lying area. The amount of water we use here to fill this thing up would be literally impossible. We run the washer here, and we just let it go on the ground here, and within 15-20 minutes it's just the ground soaked it all in. So I'm not concerned. I just want to get this water away from the building, because too much water is no good. It's just a muddy and stinky mess. And so this should work out good. Alright guys, I'm on my last piece here. This here is one of those rainwater harvesting flaps. So that's going to go here. I'm going to put this piece here. Well, this is going to hang out actually more. And so this way no critters can crawl back up in there. And even if they did, they couldn't get in anyways. Alright, so now let me get these all glued up. It's already glued, or primered anyways. I got my father-in-law here helping me out. Okay, so now let me get this too. And then this piece here, I'm just going to screw it on in case it breaks or something. I got to change it or whatever. Alright, now let's get these things all glued up or cemented. Oop. You want to hold the connections in for a few seconds because it tends to want to push out. Alright, now this is a 2-inch to 3-inch adapter, because this piece here, this rainwater harvesting drain, it only, the smallest I can get it was 3-inch, so that's okay. Okay, one more. Okay. Let me show you the rest of it. So one thing I want to mention here is I used a rubber elbow here with clamps. The reason for that is in the summer here it gets so dry that this ground here starts separating from the foundation. And I've had problems with my rainwater system where it moved out and it ended up breaking here and losing all my water. Well, the same thing would happen here. So with the rubber elbow, it gives it a little more wiggle room, so the ground can move a little bit and it won't affect, it won't crack to PVC basically. All right, so we got the drain water from the tub and shower coming out here, going all along the ground. Then I got it coming out from the commercial sink that we have in there. Now this pipe here, I had to heat up and bend a little bit. If you notice it right there. So I had to just heat that up with the heat gun and just bend it a little bit so I can get it to connect there. This pipe here is slightly going downhill this way. And then this is from the washer. Goes down here. This is where it connects to the other two, the sink and the shower. And then all the way down. What you doing, Ginger? Down to my little swamp pit right here. So I don't care how much water comes out of here, I'll never fill this thing up, ever. But how this works, I'm just going to put a little self-tapping screw here on the top, just to keep this on there, because this will come right off, see, like that. So a little self-tapping screw, but when the water comes out, it'll come out of the screen here, or if a ton of water comes out, this flap will open and the water will come out that way also. And it's got the screen there also to keep the critters out. But again, if the critters go up in there, there's no way for them to get in. They'll end up dying in there if they don't get out. So this should work out good. The only thing I have to do is put a little self-tapping screw here, just a real short stubby one, and I'll be in business. And this whole thing tapers downhill, and the whole thing there, I measured it. I put the level up against it, the pipes, and they're all leaning slightly downhill to this pipe, and then downhill to this this little pit here that I made. All right, so we got to try it out. All right, so I'm going to release some water that I have here in the bathtub, and we'll let that go through. And from the sink, the commercial sink. Wow, and it works great. Beautiful. Well guys, this looks like it is a success. Now I don't have to worry about water getting puddled up over there. And all the gray water comes in over here. And the ground will soak this up. Excellent. Alright guys, so hope you enjoyed this video. Please like, subscribe to my channel, and I will see you guys in my next video.